Hey, YouTubers, this is Money Mindset Coach. My name is Valerie. This channel is about frugality, minimalism, ways to save money, budgeting, I guess all things money. But the reason that I'm doing this video today is this is May 1st, which I am so excited that it's May. May and October are my two favorite months of the year, and today was gorgeous. A little hot, but that's okay. There was no rain, so that's a good thing. But I wanted to come to you today, and I'm probably going to post this tomorrow, which would be May 2nd, because this is my May challenge. And I don't think that I haven't posted that video yet. Maybe I'll post that one first before I post this one. But I did a video last week about some really neat ways to be frugal. I went to my frugal minimalist Facebook page and asked them what frugality meant to them, and I got some really awesome things, which I did in another video, which I'm going to put on before this one. Number 10 was the best one, and that is my challenge for the month of May. I don't know if anybody's going to want to do this with me, but I am going to try this for the month of May. If you see that other video, you'll see what number 10 is, and I can explain a little bit here of what number 10 is. But basically, one of the people that wrote on that post that I did said that she only spends money 26 weeks a year. So she has 1 week where she spends, 1 week where she doesn't spend any money at all. So that is what I am wanting to do, is have 1 week where I spend, the next week I don't spend, next week I spend, next week I don't spend. So basically in the month of May, I'm going to have 2 weeks that I spend, 2 weeks that I don't. And this is this thing right here I got from Walmart. And I almost was going to just donate it to the thrift store because I had it hanging over there. I wasn't using it. Basically, this is the month of May. The last month that I had done anything with this was November. So I wasn't using it and I was going to get rid of it. And then I had this idea of doing this challenge. So I put it on here. So the green line is the spend week. The red line is the no spend week. Today being Wednesday and the month starting on Wednesday, what I'm going to do is go, basically that's how my week is going to start. I got to put this down here. My week is going to start on a Wednesday, and then next Wednesday will start my no spend week. And that's how I'm going to do it. Just because it starts on a Wednesday, that's when I'm going to go. That's how my weeks are going to run. And so right now I am in a spend week. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to look at what my bills are, look at what I would pay for that second week, which I'm not going to be spending any money. So I'm going to have to pay any of those bills in this first week or in the third week. I'm going to have to figure that out. I did go to the grocery store today after work, but next Wednesday, I'm not going to be able to go to the grocery store. So basically, when I went into the grocery store today, they still had ice cream for like $2.77 for a half gallon. And I think it's Blue Ribbon was on sale. And it's good. It's good ice cream. And so I bought 2 more gallons of it. So I will have enough ice cream during that week that I'm not spending anything. Because when it gets hot outside, I like ice cream. During the wintertime, you wouldn't catch me eating ice cream. But when it gets warm outside, ice cream is one of my favorite things. So basically, that is what my May challenge is going to be. And so I usually do videos on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and then I post on Saturday and the following Wednesday. What I might do is just every week post how that particular week went. Now, this isn't going to be a hard week because it's a week that I can spend. Next week is going to be the challenge. That's going to be the challenge of going, because I'm going to have to get gas in my car. I'll have to have food in the house and bills paid. So there's nothing that I have to spend on that week. I have to prepare so I don't have to spend anything. So that is my challenge. That is what I'm doing. So anyway, we'll know more about that as we get farther into the month. I'm just telling you what my challenge is because I did a no spend month in January. I am doing a no clothes, shoes, everything that I could wear on my body. I'm not buying anything for the whole year. And so this is a new challenge. This is my third challenge. And I really love challenges because it's challenging. So the other thing that I've been doing is, with wedding season coming up and everything, and there's weddings all the time, but during the summer, especially June, lots of weddings. And so I have my book that is all about etiquette from over 100 years ago. And I just get the biggest kick out of these. I really do. And oh my gosh, that is not. Oh, here we go. I almost had the wrong page. Okay. This comes to the actual wedding, of where the wedding is going to take place. And it seems like over 100 years ago, most weddings took place in churches. I don't know what the statistics are of how many weddings take place in churches now. It seems like they're everywhere else. They're in parks, wineries, there's all kinds of places. You can get married anywhere. I heard of somebody getting married on horseback, underwater. People are doing all kinds of stuff now. And so I don't think there's that many weddings that actually take place in churches anymore. And basically, that's the only thing that they mentioned in this book of etiquette from over 100 years ago. They talked about the church. They didn't talk about any place else. So basically, if you're going to get married in a church 100 years ago, you would have to decide which church. And basically, it would come down to the bride's family. Whatever church they regularly attend, that would be the church that you would get married in. Wedding day. Yeah. Basically, and I think it's still this way, when it comes to the wedding, it's really the bride's day. Yeah, she's marrying the guy, but the bride, it really is her day. And so everything kind of revolves around her. But of course, you have to have a groom, so, that's important. Decorations. Back 100 years ago, you didn't go overboard with decorations. That was considered not not very good etiquette to go overboard when it came to your decorations. And they also talked about decorating for what you could afford. And that seems to be, from what I've read in this book, it seems to be kind of a theme. People did what they could afford. Now, this was the 1920s. The Depression had not happened yet. Remember they refer to the 20s as the roaring 20s? Economically, they were doing pretty good back in the 20s. Depression had not happened yet. So it's kind of interesting that they are still saying you don't go overboard. You don't do more than you can afford to do. And that's pretty smart because there's plenty of people. I mean, back in the 1920s, there were no credit cards. You couldn't go into debt for a wedding. You had to do what you could afford because you couldn't put anything on a credit card. You had to pay for it. So I hadn't thought about that until now, but that's very, very true. But whoever wrote this etiquette book did put this in, and I wrote it down because I thought that it was really kind of interesting. But it said, logic of an old lady. She did not dress better than she could afford to at home because everybody knew her and there was no use trying to impress them. They already knew her. So why try to impress people you already know that know you? You don't have to do it. She did not dress better than she could afford when she went to the city because nobody knew her there. And it didn't make a difference whether she impressed them or not because she didn't know them. She really didn't care about impressing them because she didn't know them and they didn't know her. So why impress people you don't know? I've said this before in other videos. People try to impress other people that they don't even know. Why? If you don't know them, who cares what they think? It makes no sense to do that. Oh, it says down here, I did write that. The church. Okay, no set form of decoration can be given, but magnificent ornamentation is out of place in a chapel or church. Incurring place profusion, which that seems weird, beyond one's means is not only ill-bred, but foolish. So they're basically saying, if you go overboard on the decorations and you can't afford it, it's ill-bred and foolish. I think so many of these things we could go by now. And that's why I'm looking at this book and looking at what it was like 100 years ago when a woman got married. Or there's etiquette for all kinds of stuff in here. But I'm concentrating on the weddings right now. But you just see how different they were. The bride's parents paid for the wedding, but they only paid for what they could afford. You got married in the bride's parents' church, which if you get married in a church, you're not going to have a huge bill for that. I know from working at a winery and seeing weddings that happen there, venues are one of your big, big expenses. Well, if you get married in a church, and especially if the bride's parents attend that church, you might end up using that church and using it for free. You might have to pay the minister something, but you're not going to really pay for that church. The only thing you're going to be doing is paying for the decorations used for the wedding, but the actual building itself is not going to cost you anything. I mean, that's what I did. I got married in the church that wasn't my parents' church, but it was the church that I went to. And we got married there, and we didn't pay anything for that. Now, when it comes to a reception, maybe there's a lower level, a basement of the church. A lot of times back then, that's where receptions took place. depending on the depending on the religion, the type of church that it was. Like I went to a Baptist church at one point in time in my life. And my brother, when he got married, they got married in the Baptist church. Well, yeah, the reception was in the basement, but Baptists don't dance. So there wasn't any music, there wasn't any dancing, there wasn't any alcohol, none of that. And so that's the other thing that will cost a lot of money. Sit down dinners, alcohol. So you got the venue, you got the alcohol, and you got the food. Those are the three things that will cost you the most money. So, when you see some of the decorations for some of the weddings now, they can be very, very elaborate, especially the receptions. The receptions even more so. So, it's kind of interesting the way that they did it. And I remember my mom and dad, they just had a small reception. They got married they both went to the same church and their families went to the same church. So they got married there. I think my mom's uncle was the pastor, so they probably didn't have to pay him anything. They used the church, and then they just had a small number of people who went back to my mom's parents' house, and that was where they had the cake and everything. And that's where the reception was. It was very, very simple. They do talk about bridesmaids in here. They do talk about that. And they're saying, even back then, that having 5 bridesmaids was not unusual, that you could have anywhere from 5 to 10. That's a lot. That's a lot. You have a flower girl, you have the ring bearer. There were quite a few people that could be in the wedding party, but it didn't have to be crazy in other ways. So, things have really changed. So anyway, that's my little etiquette of weddings from 100 years ago. The other thing is what I am wearing. I'm doing my no challenge, my no buying clothes. And basically this is one of these kind of tops where it's got the sheer material. And I didn't get this at the thrift store. Most everything I have worn on the channel has been from the thrift store, but this was not. It all came from another top that I bought at the thrift store, and I liked it so much that I ended up going to the website of the brand. It's Timison. Never heard of them before, but I really like their clothes. And so I went to their website and found the actual top that I had bought at the thrift store on their website. So I knew that this was still a new top that was being sold. And there I was. I got it brand new. It was brand new, but I got it at a thrift store at 30% off. So anyway, I found myself really liking those clothes. So I ended up ordering this, and then I ordered another top from them. But that's very unusual for me to do that. I don't normally do that. So this is one of the few things that I bought brand new. But I like it, and the other thing is you can see how this is sheer fabric. That is one of the spring trends, is the sheer fabric. And I do like the sheer fabric because, if you don't like your upper arms, which I don't like mine, you wear something like this and you really don't see them. It kind of camouflages them, but yet when it's warmer, it's a cooler thing to wear. And so I like it for a lot of different reasons. And polka dots are kind of in. So, hey, I look very fashionable today, and I did wear this to work. So anyway, that is all that I have for now. But I'm doing my May challenge, and like this video if you like it, subscribe to it. Maybe try this challenge along with me. I would love it if there were some other people who wanted to try it. because I want to see. I'm going to try it for this month, and if it works well, I think I can do it. I think maybe I'll do June. I'm not committing to the whole year. I'm just going to take it month by month. And like when you start budgeting, it takes a few months to really get the kinks out of it, get the bugs worked out of it. And I don't know if this is going to be like that or not. But anyway, what I'm going to do is every week, maybe on Wednesday, I will do an update of how the month challenge is going, my May challenge. So anyway, till next time, use it up, wear it out, make it do, or do without. Bye.